Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to How Do We Get Here, the podcast, and that will actually try to help you. Try to help you to deal with the mental part of your life, everything that you're going through. And you know, if you're having mental discussions and stuff about how to keep yourself focused, you know who I got here, Miss Della. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. And girl, you know I had to bring you in here because this. And I'm looking at the cameras. I'm saying this. You people understand the crazy crap that's going on out here in today's world.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends who are in the military, who work for the government, all kinds of different things, and they are out of their minds right now.
Mm-hmm.
Government contractors, other people, Miss Della, you know, but you work with mental health and all that stuff. They're trying to mess with everything. So people don't know how to handle this, and a lot of them never been in this situation before. And I feel it's my duty. It's our duty to make sure we give you some things to listen to and work on to keep you focused and keep you connected to everything that's going on out here, and more or less connect to yourself, because you're going to forget the jobs and all that stuff, because you have no real control over that. You can't control you. You can control how you react to it and what's your next steps. Sitting in a world of woe is not going to help you.
No.
It's not going to help you. Yeah, you're going to be depressed, you're going to be angry, you're going to be upset, you're going to be all that. But in the end, it's not going to help you. You still got to come with a plan and move forward to do something else. And we just want to talk to you about steps you need to do, things you need to do to, you know, get out that rut and get the moving, because bills still got to get paid, vacations still got to be had. You still got to take care of those babies and going to school, the ones going to college. You got to take care of putting money in your retirement if you have retirement. All that continues. So you need to get your money, that mind straight. That mind has got to be this 6 inches up here has got to be tight. So that's why we're here to help you today. So I'm going to my girl, the guru herself, and I'm start asking some pointed questions that people have been kind of asking me. So, and I'm like, I can give you some answers, but you ain't gonna like my answers. But her answers is from someone who went to many, many years of school and got the answers for you. So she's gonna be giving these answers. I'm just telling her to answer the questions. So the first is, how can someone recognize when they need professional mental health support versus just managing on their own? Because a lot of people are like, you know, nothing against prayer. Prayer is one of many things you can use. But a lot of people are like, I'm just going to pray on it. And then they keep rehashing. It's like chewing the gum until the gum is out of flavor. You keep chewing the gum, I guess, hoping you get some more flavor. No, the flavor's gone. So if that doesn't work, either get another stick of gum or do something different. So what do you think people should do, Ms. Della, when it comes to, if it's, you know, do you need help, outside help, or can you really do it on your own? When do you make that decision?
So that's a great question. I think that people should seek individual counseling services when they're noticing that it's impacting their day-to-day lives. When it's impacting your relationship with your spouse or your significant other, it's impacting your relationship with your children, whatever is going on with you, right? You're noticing you're more irritable, more frustrated, or even more isolated and feeling really disconnected from family and friends and from the world. Less motivation as well, where, you know, it lasts for a period of time. Typically, we like to say about, 3 months, you're noticing these uncomfortable feelings or this disconnect, or even a lack of desire, or lack of fulfillment in life, and you can enter individual counseling services at that point to explore what's going on. Because sometimes we're like, okay, I can power through, it'll be fine, but it'll be fine and will only last but so long. Let's kind of check in with the therapist and see if it's the way you're thinking about a situation or processing. So ultimately noticing the impact that it is having, or stress or life change is having on your day-to-day life, and then your day-to-day, even your work performance too. You're noticing that your work performance is starting to decline. You're not getting positive reviews by your supervisors anymore, or you're just feeling less fulfilled. and tearfulness naturally. You're noticing you're more angry, you're crying more often, things along those lines. At that point, I would say, hey, let's check in with the therapist and see what's going on.
And that's great, because the other thing I'm hearing just in there is people are now resorting to other things, and that's what I'm hearing is alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I gotta take that edge off. I gotta, I'm shocked and surprised, and it's all shocking and surprising because again, the things that are happening now are so crazy. I can't even talk about it on this podcast because that's not what this is about. It's about people really coming to grips with what's going on. And I'm going to say this personally: alcohol is not going to solve it.
No.
Alcohol and drugs is definitely not going to solve your problem. It's going to actually cause another set of problems that you don't need at this point. So don't do that. So
alcohol is actually a depressant. A lot of people don't know that. But alcohol can actually increase your risk of depression or depressive-like symptoms. It is a depressant.
Wow. See that? So it's going to make you more depressed. So if you drink it to not be depressed, it's going to actually make you more depressed. So you don't need that at all. So.
And the thought is usually, oh, I'm happy, I'm lively. When after I've had a couple of drinks and things along those lines, okay, how do you feel like when you wake up in the morning? Do you really still have that kind of burst that some people describe? But I say all that to say no, alcohol, drink after drink in order to cope with what is going on with us emotionally. It really actually distracts you from processing the experience and being present in the experience.
Oh, cool. And that's true. I believe that wholeheartedly. My next question is, what steps should someone do daily for their mental health? It's like, a lot of people have different things. Some people like, I pray, I do whatever. But from your clinical expertise, what should people do every day to help their mentals?
Every day to protect in an effort to have a positive kind of mental health and well-being, I would say monitoring our thoughts and monitoring if we're noticing we're being more negative, if we're noticing that we're being more sarcastic, things like that, like monitoring, being present, being aware, and being mindful is one thing on a daily basis that we can practice. The other side of it is journaling. We're talking about coping skills here, but journaling, diet and exercise is also incredibly important, maintaining our physical health. That can look like going for a walk and getting some fresh air, some natural vitamin D from the sun, and then even making sure we're monitoring what we're eating, because when we have this big massive meal, we actually go into a little bit of a lull and we feel a little bit less energy. So diet, exercise, journaling techniques, listening to things that bring you joy. For example, music or your favorite podcast, to just really create. And set aside time that is just dedicated to the things that bring you joy can help you build resilience in times of stress, because now you know what your plan is when you are frustrated about something or when you're going through a bad season.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, because I think as human beings, it's a reactionary thing to be mad and to be, to feel a certain way about certain decisions that's out of your control. But you can't allow that feeling to really take over how you view life, or how you view your life, or how you move forward to life. And I think people, even if it's not job, just in life in general, just hold anger over things that they can't control or can't change. All we can really do is say it happened, embrace it. You have to, because you can't not embrace it. It is what it is. And then you have to say, how do I move forward? Rather than complain and beat it to death about chew over again. And it's not going to change the fact. You have to have a plan to move forward. You got to
definitely have a plan to move forward. One of the things that we use as a tool in therapy is kind of just getting a regular piece of paper and drawing a circle. Inside that circle, identifying the things that are within your control. What is it that's in my control? I control the color of the shirt that I'm going to put on today. I'm going to control my breakfast. I'm going to control the perfume that I wear that day, right? And then outside of the circle, you're writing down all of the things that are outside of your control. I can't control traffic. I can't control the political atmosphere in this country right now. I can't control. I can't control the interaction that I'm going to have in the supermarket with the cashier when I go to buy my food, right? So looking at those things that are within your control, recognizing you do have control over a lot of things, and then letting go and challenging yourself to let go of the things that are outside of your control. Because the more we try to control the things that are outside of our control, the angrier and more dissatisfied we recognize we're becoming. And then that has a residual impact, yes, on our mental health, our families, our friends, society, and so on, in overall fulfillment.
And that is so true. So true. Which kind of leads me into my next question for you is, with all the pressure, societal pressures and negativity going on in the world, how can people protect their mental space? Because it's a lot. And y'all, you know what I'm talking about. You turn on the news, it's depressing. You go to social media, it's depressing. You listen to the radio, it's depressing because it's all intertwined. So it's like every time you turn your head around, it's depressing. You go buy some eggs, it's depressing. So it's like, so at some point, how do I protect my mentals? Because I mean, I know what I do, but I can see why people are crooked. There's people who small story from yesterday. I went out to Safeway to get something, and the lady was standing in front of eggs, mind you. She's standing in front of eggs like, when the hell did eggs become $18 for a dozen? And I looked at her, I said, I was sitting there to say, I want to get involved in that conversation because if that happens, then I'm sitting for 20 minutes talking about eggs and everything else. So I always looked at her, I said, yeah, everybody's saying that. And she's just like, pretty soon, I might just stay home. I can't buy eggs. I can't go out. It gets too expensive. This is crazy. And mind you, she's having this conversation with nobody. She's talking to nobody. She's just standing in front of the eggs, having this discussion about how expensive the eggs are and all this other stuff is going on. And I said, oh, wow. And then somebody else is arguing about this. And it's a grocery store. We're not talking about just, anywhere else. We're talking about the grocery store. People like, I guess I can only get this because I only can afford this. I can't get this because I can only afford that. And I'm like, oh, wow. And if you don't break that can kill you. People don't realize that. Yeah. They can kill you.
Yeah. So the world is changing, right? The cost of living, quite literally, the cost of living is skyrocketing right now for everyone. The cost of eggs, like you mentioned, the basic cost of groceries. Even for me, I'm paying essentially triple of what I used to pay just a few years ago for groceries. And that's incredibly frustrating, and it's scary because there may be one day where it's quadruple and I can no longer afford that. And so looking at what it is that I can change in my day, what it is, again, that I can control. I cannot control the cost of eggs. I can go buy a chicken and maybe start raising, maybe start selling the eggs to my neighbors or something. And generating kind of a new revenue source. But that is similar. That is a reflection of, well, let me see what it is that I can control. I cannot control the cost of eggs, but let me be a little bit more creative and maybe go buy a chicken, and maybe start a farm, which is not realistic for everyone, don't get me wrong. But in that mentality, in that mindset, it is challenging myself to look for the opportunity to control my situation, right? To change something versus sitting there with doom and gloom and saying, oh my gosh, the cost of eggs is too high and now I can't do anything. So it's that kind of fight, freeze or fawn, excuse me, where you're challenging yourself to look at the opportunities to pivot, the opportunities in this situation to learn, to change, to grow something. And so in order to kind of protect our mental health, I would say, when you're in those tough situations, and eggs is not the only thing, but it could be job loss, it could be, our tire pop, now we have to get it towed, or we ran out of gas. It could be the bad day at school for some people. But challenging yourself to think positive, and I don't mean be happy go lucky every moment of the day, because it's not realistic. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, validate your own emotions. It is okay that I am angry right now. It is okay. I'm going to give myself, and limit it, right? It's okay that I'm angry right now. I'm going to give myself 30 minutes to be angry. And that means I'm going to yell, fight, scream, yell, all of those things. I'm going to throw up my whole temper tantrum and be angry. But at minute 30, I'm going to stop. I'm going to reframe my mindset. I'm going to say, all right, I'm done being angry now. I had a right to feel angry. This is what I'm going to do moving forward to change my situation. It's okay to be human and experience our emotions. It is okay to be mad when we see the price of eggs. It is okay to be upset and disappointed when we lose our job. In doing so, challenging yourself to see the opportunity in the situation. So affirm yourself, affirm your thoughts, affirm yourself, affirm your thoughts and your emotional state, but move forward, and challenging yourself to move forward. Come up with that plan, change the budget, change the foods that we're eating, change. And I don't mean that for everything. It's not always the case in every situation, but we have to challenge ourselves to not stay stuck. So protecting your mental health is limiting how long you are like social media, seriously limiting, especially with iPhones and Androids now. You can put a timer on the social media apps that you use. So limit yourself to 15 minutes of social media, because you recognize now it's impacting your mental health. And then while you're limiting yourself, then go do something that fills your cup, fills your joy, takes care, helps you take care of yourself. And again, that could look like participating in a fun activity. That could look like listening to music. That could look like watching the latest episode of some movie or some show or something like that. But creating boundaries within yourself. But you have to you have to develop self-control and discipline to limit, to cut yourself off from things that you know are negatively impacting your mental health.
Oh my God. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Because again, people use social media to kind of like get them out of situations. You know, I can live in this fantasy world. Well, it's not fantasy world anymore, because you see the same type of thing, one side or the other. And I don't want either. I just want to have a spot in my mind where a safe space where I can say, you know what, I just need to get away from all this and resettle. Get my mind resettled in a new space so I can move forward and deal with these issues that are now upon me, rather than complaining about it, drinking about it, using drugs, any other coping mechanism that's going to cause more problems than help you cope. So I love how you put that, you know, and it just has to happen, you know. And my last question to you is, what are some resources or practices that you recommend for mental health maintenance, even outside of therapy? Now, you know, I love therapy. Therapy. I always tell people, every time I talk to somebody, what's wrong? You going to talk to Miss Della? Huh? You talk to Miss Della. She can help you therapy wise. I'm going to tell you something else, but outside of therapy, or not outside of therapy, along with therapy, what other things should people do? Because again, it's a holistic thing. And before you answer that question, I'm going to say this, people have sent me emails saying, you know, you don't talk about prayer and stuff. Prayer is wonderful. I'm not telling you not to pray. I'm saying prayer along with other things is going to help you get to the next level. It's part of a hub philosophy. You know, you have therapy in there, you have other managing tools in their box in that hub to use. You just don't use one, you use all of them to maintain, because eventually one is going to run out and you're going to be like, but particularly some things are going to run out. But with therapy and prayer, you got to work in tandem with those two. So, you know, I'm just had to throw that out there for you real quick.
So what are some of the things? Ask the question one more time.
So what other healthcare maintenance things should people do outside of therapy?
So there are 8 dimensions to living well. And
Damn,
so
8?
There's 8 dimensions.
I didn't know that. Okay.
According to SAMHSA, there are 8 dimensions to living well. And so it's a physical health or physical wellness activity, that the exercising for a lot of people, movement with your body in some way, shape, or form, right? But then also going to make sure you get your annual physicals and tend into your blood work and looking at your vitamin levels and things like that, and making sure we're following doctors' recommendations. I'm not your primary care doctor, so go to your doctor, follow what they say. And then there is environmental wellness as well, and that's looking at our natural living environment. And that could be making sure that your home is clean and organized and truly a reflection of a welcoming state or ambiance or vibe, if you will, when you walk into your home, and challenging yourself to address anything in your natural environment that does not kind of correlate with a positive mental state. So physical wellness, environmental wellness, there is spiritual wellness as well. And we always like to define that as a connectedness to a higher sense of purpose, not necessarily a higher power, one denomination or religion over another, but a sense of purpose in this world. And so that could be following your passion and participating in your hobbies on a basis. For example, I really do enjoy walking, and so I just go for a walk. I do a lot of nature walks in order to help me process my days, my sessions, whatever may be going on in my family. I'll walk and think it through. But then in walking and thinking it through, I'm challenging what I know is not a healthy way of thinking about something. Is this helpful for me to feel this way? Is it, if I'm always negative, am I noticing that I'm always being negative about a particular person or situation, and really following your thought, listening to your own thoughts, right? Listening to your own, and it takes time. That's why people come to therapy, because they want to understand if I'm looking at something in a healthy way. Do I got this correct? And sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't have it so healthy, right? Sometimes we're teetering on the edge of obsessions or hyperfixations or intrusive thoughts, anxiety, depression, and that's why it's important, similar to going to get your annual physical, come in, get checked in by a mental health provider, because mental health and physical health are incredibly important. So physical health, environmental wellness, spiritual wellness, financial wellness. If you know your finances are stressing you out, go in and talk to a professional. Get some financial advice from someone who understands the numbers and can help you develop the budget necessary to live at your current lifestyle, right? And then set goals for moving forward. Have those conversations with your local banker and say, hey, this is my plan. This is what I get from my paycheck, or this is my unemployment right now, and have those conversations. Let's put the emotional experience of having to do some of these things aside. It could be shame, it could be guilt, it could be embarrassment because my finances are not good, but then you stressed out because your finances are not good and you're taking it out on everybody else, and then you're sitting in it. Yeah. It's you see what I'm getting at? So there are I say all that to say there are a lot of practical things that in our day-to-day life that we know are causing stress that we can address, right? We can go find those resources for that specific thing that is stressing us out, while also incorporating positive coping skills, healthy coping skills. I know you said, I mentioned going for a walk. What is something that you enjoy doing to help you kind of cope?
Oh, you know me, I'm in the gym. I am in the gym. I got to meditate. I have to separate myself from the madness. That's what I do, people. I have to, because again, I spent too many early parts of my years worrying about stuff that I shouldn't worry about. But that came with growth and saying that there's something wrong. I need to do more, because it kills you. I mean, it messed my health up when I was younger, because I worried about everything. And again, I worried about things I could not control. But at that point, when you're younger and you don't really have the knowledge, because everybody tells you you need to man up and handle your business. Well, man up and handle your business, that sounds great. But what does that really mean? And when your health starts to suffer, that tells you that you're really not handling it the way you should handle it. And that's what it took for me to say, okay, this guy, it's a different way. I have to search for it. Because the other thing is, you have to search for it. It's not something you're going to find on TV. You find a lot of stuff on TV, but nothing that's going to help you get your mind right with yourself, or get your mind right with what's going on, or get you focused on the things that you need to do. It's going to tell you, take this pill, take that pill, take this pill with all the other side effects, mind you. And one of the side effects is death, which I don't know how the hell death is a side effect, but some of those pills are death. So again, you have to take responsibility for what makes you tick, what calms you down, what puts you in your own zone, in your comfort zone. And nobody can tell you about your zone. You have to find your own zone.
Yes. So, I want to add to that. You have to be curious about yourself too, right? And so you have to be willing to challenge yourself to explore the things, the activities, the books, the people, the environment that brings you the most comfort and most kind of positive mental health experience. A lot of people stay within their comfort zone. Maybe they haven't seen their parents do it, their grandparents do it. My mom powered through, my dad powered through, things along those lines. And so they stay within their comfort zone instead of challenging themselves to look beyond and to look at that, that self-help book that encourage you to do deep breathing exercises or meditation exercises as well. Turn on that YouTube and listen to some yoga meditation music and see if that helps, right? And if Absolutely. It does, let's keep it going. Turn on those motivational motivational podcasts or those motivational sounds and see if that helps. Be curious about what brings you comfort, right? In a healthy way, important, in a healthy way.
Absolutely. It has to be healthy because, again, what you don't want to have, you want to add something onto your health that's going to destroy your health. Because you already have a particular set of issues. Everybody in this world has issues, but you want to minimize adding on to those issues. So drugs, alcohol, anything else, any risky behaviors, no, it's not worth it. It's going to cause more. It's a sudden, and it was a long term. Oh, I made that mistake. And you don't want to do that, and we none of us want to do that. So we're here to give you those guidance, give you those opportunities, and have this discussion about how to get over the hump. And you're gonna have many humps. Life is full of hills and valleys, and you just have to find a way to get over it. And this is just one other little valley that we're currently in, but it's going to get better. And speaking of getting better, how do the people get in touch with you, Miss D, Miss Della?
So we're August Rose Health Center. You can just Google us. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and all the socials, right? We're there. But feel free to give us a call anytime. We're here Monday through Friday. And we are accepting new clients.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And people, I have her when you go to the site. She's on a list, so I put her on as the hot list. I'm starting a new thing called the Hub of Hope, and these are people that when you come here, they're going to help you. Again, I may not be able to help you on certain things, but I'm going to find people that's going to be able to help you mentally, socially, psychologically, financially. That's what we're here to do, to come here and help you to become better. Help yourself to be better. So that's all we can do, So, with that, guys, again, we're going to end this particular episode of How Do We Get Here? And like I said, please take care of yourself out here. It's going to get a lot worse. So I'm not going to we're never going to sugarcoat anything. Yeah. It's going to get worse. I need you to now get on some sort of bandwagon to keep you focused and keep you balanced. Because that's the most important thing that you have to do right now is keep yourself balanced and focused on what you're going through. Don't worry about the world. The world is you. You have to worry about your world. You can control your world, so do that. And so with that, we're going to end this episode of How We Get Here. And you know what you need to do, people. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell button so you can get the latest podcast when it comes out, episode that comes out. And like I said, Ms. Della, I want to thank you again, as always, bring your knowledge and everything to the table. And again, we'll be talking again. We'll be talking real soon again. And until next time, people, peace and blessings to you.